There was a married man named Alex. He was a typical hardworking man who came home from work exhausted every day. As usual, he arrived home one evening, put his stuff down, and headed to the kitchen to get something to drink. He figured his wife was in the back doing something because he texted her about 30 minutes earlier. Eh, he'd greet her after he has his alone time. He opened the refrigerator and grabbed a cold drink. See, feeling the coldness of the can in his hand was a reminder that another hard day of work was over. So, making his way to the living room, he settled down on his comfortable couch, ready to unwind. With a sigh of relief, Alex picked up the TV and Fire Stick remotes, preparing to dive into his favorite streaming app. Just as he was about to press the power buttons, a faint moan filled the air. His heart skipped a beat, and he froze, wondering if his mind was playing tricks on him or something. That eerie sound echoed through the house again, sending shivers down Alex's spine. Determined to find the source, he cautiously rose from the couch, setting the remotes down. The moaning became more pronounced as he followed its trail, his heartbeat pounding in his ears. Step by step, Alex traced the sound, anxiety growing with each passing moment. The moans guided him closer to the bedroom from where the source seemed to be originating. As he reached for the knob, fear, anticipation surged through him. Gritting his teeth, Alex slowly turned the doorknob and pushed the door open. What greeted his eyes was a sight that he'd never forget. There before him was his wife pleasuring herself to an adult film. Startled, his wife suddenly turned around and slammed the laptop on the desk closed. Babe! Alex started laughing. It's okay, honey. I sometimes watch those too. Well, not anymore, really, but I used to. A confused look came over his wife's face. But then she quickly said, oh, yeah. I was just, I mean, it was during the day and you were on my mind, so I just wanted to pleasure myself while I was thinking about you. Aw, you thinking about little old me? Alex asked. Yes, babe. Of course I was. Hmm. Then let me go ahead and finish you off while we watch it together, Alex said, as he reached over her to open his laptop she was using. His wife put her hand over his on the laptop and said, We don't need to watch that. We can just go to the bed and make our own movie. Ooh, you nasty, Alex said. We will. We're going to start off with this because this will be more exciting. What? It's been 3.5 months since we got it in? And you won't have to do anything but stay exactly where you are. I've got you, he told her. No, that's okay, babe. I want to please you, she said, as she was keeping her hand on top of his as he was trying to open the laptop. And slowly, Alex began to notice her hand movement. Her hands seemed to be less and less about intimacy and more about subtle but deliberate restraint. Why was she seemingly so adamant about not watching what she was literally just watching? Honey, let my hand go, please, Alex said in the nicest way, now becoming suspicious. But babe, I take your hand off of my hand, please, he said again, a little more forcefully, as he yanked the laptop out from under her hand. As he went to open it, he could see the absolute horror in her eyes. Babe, wait, she pleaded. Alex opened the laptop, and it was asking for his password as his computer settings called for that whenever the laptop was closed. He put his password in, and the adult film that his wife was just watching popped back up. Out of his peripheral vision, Alex saw her phone screen change but paid no attention to it. As he reviewed the screen, he saw that it was a video being played in Messenger and was on pause. He didn't understand why she was making such a big freaking deal about adult films. Yeah, he didn't watch them anymore, but her watching them was kind of hot to him. Maybe she was watching some craziness that would make him look at her sideways. But hey, everybody has their little kinks, right? So, eager to see what type of hilarious debauchery his wife was embarrassed of watching, Alex pushed play. As the video began to play, the moans started up again. "Honey, how bad could it be?" he said, as he turned to his obviously embarrassed wife. As he started watching the video, Alex realized that he wasn't familiar with the seeming male adult film star who was on the screen, but he quickly realized that he'd most definitely seen the seeming female adult film star in that film many times, and in that exact position that was on the screen, because it was his wife. Turns out that she'd been having an affair with this guy who she'd met at a work party. On one of their sexcapades, he recorded it and sent it to her through Messenger. And they both decided that while Alex was at work, they would watch it together and pleasure themselves simultaneously. An icy chill ran down Alex's spine as his brain put two and two together, and he realized that what his eyes caught from her phone screen on the desk changing was the man in this video hanging up as he was on the phone with her as she was pleasuring herself to their video when he walked in. Alex's breath was caught in his throat as he tried to speak, but no sound could escape. Dread and confusion consumed him as he stumbled backwards, desperately searching for answers in his mind. How could this happen to me? In my house? In my bedroom? On my freaking laptop? How could she do something so disrespectful to me? Her freaking husband. Sick to his stomach, Alex slowly retreated from the room, his mind racing with thoughts of what he had just witnessed. The sounds of, "Alex, wait, I was lonely and you're always working," filled a distant echo. What would he do now? Alex, the man who had come home from work hoping for a relaxing evening, found himself caught in a twisted sexual nightmare. His once peaceful life shattered. His future filled with uncertainty, darkness, and chilling echoes of a moan and video that would forever torment his soul. Tell me, good man fam, how many of you have heard of a situation similar to this? Heck, how many of you have had a similar situation happen to you? And how many of you have had their actions somehow blamed on you? You roll up on them in the car, getting it in with some guy. Somehow that's your fault. You roll up on them in your house, getting it in with some guy. Somehow it's your fault. You roll up on them in a hotel or a motel, and somehow it's your fault. See, the problem here is modern females not just only don't take accountability, but they try to put the accountability on someone else instead of being an adult and having a conversation about what's going on with them. Why? Why do they do that? It's because they're not traditional or modern women. They don't have their values. They don't have their grace. Modern females, it's all about them. It's all about what it is they want to feel at the moment. Why? I was going to do a video on this later. I probably still will, but make sure you understand that this comes from me because I've thought about this. Modern females want to idle at 100% dopamine hit, serotonin, endorphins, oxytocin. They want to idle at 100, which is impossible. So what they do is they get someone who can give them the most they can get consistently. So if they get a guy who can give them a 70% hit of all that, they'll get him. But then the other 30% will be the guy with whom they make a video and with whom they masturbate. That's what they'll do. They'll find that 30% somewhere else. Oh, you can give them that 30% periodically when you go on a vacation or you get them some jewelry or something happens to where it spikes from the 70% to 99. But it will always go back down because life is about idling at a comfortable position. But not to modern females. They want to idle at perfect. And when they can't idle at perfect, they'll find some guy to temporarily fill in their pleasure gap.